Today, the Prime Minister was talking up security, specifically his own, after an incident on the campaign trail.
I have great faith in the team that protects me every single day. It was only a few weeks ago where two of my protection detail were involved in a very serious car accident only a few hundred metres from that very site.
If you're wondering what mortal danger the PM narrowly escaped yesterday, it was this.
I beg your pardon, don't touch me. This is a public place.
During a trip to a Tassie cheese factory, Scott Morrison had an awkward encounter, or rather, his security detail did.
Man's handling me. I want to talk to the Prime Minister. Why are you pushing me out of the way?
This wasn't just a random member of the public trying to get a word in. It was Trevor Sofield, former High Commissioner to the Solomon Islands.
I just happened to be here. And ever since I've been here, I was totally obstructed from seeing. Simply say, Prime Minister, I want you to know you've lost my vote because of the way in which your government has mishandled our relationship in the South Pacific.
Today, Morrison said he wasn't even aware that Sofield was there.
Well, I learned that later. I mean, when I follow protocols with my security team, and when they say it's time for me to leave, that's what I do.
The PM also adding a lot has changed since Sofield's time.
I have learnt that he was there in the 1980s, and I'm sure he had many opinions on that.
So, what are those opinions, and what else would Sofield have said to Morrison?
Well, here to tell us is the former High Commissioner to the Solomon Islands, Trevor Sofield. Trevor, I want to know, was your encounter yesterday really a coincidence?
I've got two guests here from the United States, friends from 40 years. We've been going out at 7 a.m, coming home after dark. I was taking our friends to the cheese factory. Cameras and journalists were swarming all over the place. We said, obviously, what's going on? They said, the PM's about to arrive. I had no intention of talking to him at that stage. It certainly wasn't any planned ambush. I had no placards or anything like that. One of the journalists, filling in time, asked me what I thought as a Bass elector, what were the key issues that I was concerned about. I mentioned that I had been Australian High Commissioner in the Solomons, and I'd be interested in talking to the Prime Minister about what I saw as an abrogation of our responsibility for maintaining our strategic interests in the region. That was overheard by two minders from the Prime Minister who were just standing within a metre or two away. I turned to them and said, I'd like to see the Prime Minister. They were extremely rude. There was no, oh, look, I'm sorry, busy or whatever. They were, move on, get out of the way. You're not coming through. And I was totally taken aback.
Trevor, on the Solomon Islands, right, the government from the start wanted national security issues. They see it as one of their strengths. And then right on our doorstep, China signs an agreement with the Solomon Islands. But in my view, they couldn't really ramp it up because the scarier the situation became, the more culpable they were for not doing enough to stop this from happening. What do you make of that theory?
I agree entirely. We're behind the eight ball. We've left it far too late. Round about the year 2000, we started to take our eye off the ball. We began to lose sight of strategic interests. We still had terrorist activity, a long way, most of it, from the South Pacific, but there was no attempt that I saw to try and formulate a new policy to deal with a changing situation. And certainly in the last decade, when I think you didn't need to be blind Freddy to see that indeed there could be quite significant strategic interests that could be threatened, we seem to take no particular action to try and counter it. So, Barry, you're right. I think we're behind the eight ball. And if the government tried to make a little more noise about it, they would simply be, in a sense, shouting about their own inadequacies.
What do you make of the fact that you couldn't voice your concerns to the PM?
Surely we are in an open democracy. We have our political leaders claiming that they're there to meet and greet and get down to the grassroots and talk and listen to the local people. And I just don't see that happening to the degree that it should.
Trevor, thanks very much for your time.
Okay, thank you.